All right, now we're going to be looking at some effects and backgrounds. Basically, what I want to show you is the fact that there are layer compositions that you have to abide by. Thinking about things like, let's say, what's on top and what's on bottom and how that works, and how they relate to each other. So right now, this main title is on top, and that main title is consisting of my project, this title right here. But if I was to add something, like go over here and right click new solid and hit OK, it would be on top of the composition. So now that is the most visible thing. By clicking and dragging it down, you can put it in the background of the text. And now if you click and drag, you can see the text is appearing onto a blue background. You use solids a lot, so get used to them. They are the number one thing that you can transform within After Effects and attach effects to them. All right, well, let's look at one of those for example. I'm not going to attach it here. I'm going to add a new solid, another new solid. So I'm going to go in here and right click new solid. This time I'll use any color and hit OK. So essentially what I have is this, a pale gray, and a blue. This one, I'm going to transmit it to an effect. So if you go to effects, there's generate, and after 12 years of using After Effects and stuff like that, I would say you're never going to get through all these effects. There are so many cool effects in here, and you can warp and manipulate and make other effects based upon these effects. It's limitless. I use cell pattern a lot, so let's go to cell pattern, and you can see what it does. You can choose whatever you want. You can put it static plates, crystallized, below, all kinds of crazy stuff, right? Now, it's going to really warp your noodle when I tell you that the fact that all of these can be animated. So if you go down to this now, you can see effects, and here's cell pattern, and everything in here can be animated. So, for example, let's say I go into evolution, which is a really cool thing. You can see evolution kind of makes these things bounce around. Now, evolution, I can start it here and hit the keyframe, and maybe down the road, I can change the evolution. And now from frame 1 to 30, or 30 seconds in, you can see it's moving around. Well, I can't see my text very well, but that leads me to my next thing. First off, know that effects are here, and I can get a hold of them under the effects palette. I can go back to project pretty easy by going into here, project. So here's my effects controls and my project. So anytime I need to go to a simple thing like, let's say, that main, I can go here, and here's my effect. It's on my pale gray layer. This bouncing around between composition and project and everything else does lose the student quite fast. So just keep in mind, you can't hurt anything. You're not going to get lost. You just got to know that this bar right here is a little hard to kind of get used to, as far as if you want to jump back into your project window from here. Usually I go to name, title, and then project, and then I can go to whatever composition I'm looking at, and then now I have those things available to me. So the last thing before I make your brain explode is the fact that here I can expand and collapse. Now look at these. If I expand these, I even have more options to look at. But in Photoshop, I have the ability to use different types of layers, and these are layer blending. Well, in After Effects, I have the very same thing. So I can choose these bubbles to be a multiply. And now, because my background is blue, it allows it to be blue multiplied onto it. Now, let's look at this effect. I'm going to unexpand this because it's annoying, and then I'm going to push this stuff back. There we go. Now you can see I got a moving background, and I had my text fly in. Alright, and that's just a few minutes into After Effects, and we already have movement, effects, and a few other things. Let's go on to the next video where I can give you some more, but I would say take a few minutes and practice making a couple effects and play around with them to see what you can come up with before you do that.